Howdy folks, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your host, the Mighty Bjorn, and today for you I have a Bjorn's Mighty Thoughts video. Let's just dive on into today's video. I'm just going to kind of podcast here, kind of give you a little bit of a review of some work I do. So I work in a machine shop, and I am the head painter, if you will, in the machine shop. And I've used various different paint guns over the years, particularly, they're mostly Harbor Freight paint guns. And that's actually what I'm talking about today. I'm going to talk about two different Harbor Freight paint guns, kind of give you a little bit of a review and a little bit of opinion about how I feel about those paint guns. But just know I've used other paint guns in the past. I honestly don't remember the names of the brand names of the guns. I remember one gun is it was like a $500 gun that, we had for a while, and then there was like it was like a $200 gun that we'd gotten and had for a while. It was some Italian brand. I really don't honestly remember. All I remember is that you can actually get it at Napa. But I'm going to talk about Harbor Freight paint guns because that's what I mostly run with. So bear with me, folks, and I'll turn my camera on and I'll show you what paint guns I have. So now this paint gun we just gotten recently. So normally the projects they're bigger projects, the machines that I paint, and normally I'm the only one painting. But recently we had a project that was so big that we had two painters. So I went out to Harbor Freight and I got a second paint gun. And I just grabbed literally the cheapest full-size paint gun I could find. Because it's kind of like one of those things of, well, we just need it because we're going to have someone else helping me paint today. And, well, it'd be a good idea to have a spare gun laying around. Now, normally, what I use is this paint gun. And this is also a Harbor Freight paint gun. They're both the same brand. Now, they are different price tags. But they are very, very different paint guns. Now, this one is, if you go looking, it is the Professional Automotive Hvlp spray gun kit. The SKU on this is 94672. I'm looking at the case. I'll show you the case then. And then this one is SKU 62300. Now this is like a $15 gun. Actually, let me look at the receipt. Okay, it's $14.99. I've seen this thing as low as $10 when it's on sale, when it's on special. Now, this one's $50, but I'm going to dive more into this one in a bit because there's a lot more to it than just this. Let's talk about this one first because this thing is a piece of shit. Folks, this thing is a piece of shit. Let me remind you how much of a piece of shit this is. Okay, so did it do the job? Yes, it did do the job. It does everything that it needs to do. It did spray perfectly fine. It worked for the job. But there's a couple things I want to point out. First thing is this grip is fucking horrible. My fingers, my two fingers here, Spock, is so far, like they're literally really far spread apart to grip this grip. I am a 6'2" man with a large hand, and this grip is very uncomfortable. Now, it's got a 2-finger trigger, like most paint guns do, although you can pull it with one. It's just easier to pull with two. I can't get a third finger on here. So, the biggest problem I had is my hand would slide up as I was painting, because I was the one using this gun. More or less, I wanted to use it because I want to kind of do a review on the two guns. And my ring finger would keep slipping up. And then I'd pull the trigger and just crush my ring finger. It didn't happen constantly, but it happened every once in a while. So it made the gun very uncomfortable to use because every once in a while I'd squeeze and pinch my fingers. Now, I don't have this. Now, one feature of this gun, I'll give it credit for, is it's got a set screw on the needle right here. Now, this comes off, and then right here is your set screw. Now, the nice thing about that is every time you tear this apart to clean it, because this has to come out to clean it, so you can get the needle out, so you can clean the needle. So you can take off the nozzle and take this off. And I'm not going to do a complete tear down because this thing's a son of a bitch to put back together. Now, part of the reason is because it's new. See, there's a spring in this back portion here. I'll show you on the other gun. Because this gun is easy to get together and take apart. So we'll take off this piece here. And there's a spring, as you can see, on the needle. And there's your needle. Now the needle for this one and the spring is completely different. The set screw piece, as you can see, is completely different. This is the screw cap that that holds the needle and the spring in. This one actually has a setting on it. Now the nice thing about that is once you tighten that down, you can take this off, put it back on, and it's going to be the same every single time. That is nice. It does have a fan control, which is nice. Fan control, good. I don't have the regulator on it right now. I actually have the regulator in the bottle. This comes with a bottle that screws on the top. Gravity feed, typical paint gun, automotive type layout. Now, one thing in particular, the next thing that kind of sucks about this gun, and I got fucking lucky, pardon my language, is when I got this gun, I got the gun, a booklet, a brush, and this is a strainer. This is actually supposed to be in the system, and it acts as a filter. I don't need this for the type of paint I mix and for how thin the paint is that I mix. So this is useless. I don't even have it on the other gun. The other gun comes with one as well. Essentially, all you get is this gun in a cardboard box like so. The problem is you need a wrench to take this nozzle off. I got lucky and had one laying around. This is the only wrench I have that works on this gun. Let me show you. So this turns in, or this slides on. And of course, right now, it's really does not want to come off. There we go. And just think, I wrenched it on there the other day. And there's the nozzle. Now, the nozzle, of course, you have to take off the nozzle every time you need to clean the gun, so you make sure the nozzle is nice and clean. That's how you make your paint gun last longer. More or less. I would know, because I normally have paint guns for years. It's actually kind of funny. Now, you got to screw this back on. And then, of course, once again, you need the handy-dandy wrench to put it back on. Which, once again, you have to slide this in there. This is a pain in the butt. This really is a pain in the butt. And then you wrench it on. What a piece of shit. I hate this paint gun. Folks, $15 paint gun. Do not buy this. This thing sucks. Even if you're just going to buy a gun that you think you're going to use one time and never use again, trust me, I know better. I've bought tools thinking I was only going to use them once and ended up ended up needing them again down the road. This was a mistake. I should have bought a more expensive gun. Like I said, though, it did do the job. I'm not going to knock it on that end. It did do the job. But for the quality, the comfort, I don't recommend this gun. Let me show you what I do recommend from Harbor Freight. If you're going to buy a gun from Harbor Freight. And I do, honestly, believe it or not, I actually do recommend a Harbor Freight gun. I know Harbor Freight is notorious for having cheap tools. But some of their tools actually isn't bad. And this is one of those tools that is not bad. Now I'm going to show you the nozzle to this one. So we'll take off the cap. Cap comes off nice and easy. Also the cap too. Now sometimes I have problems with this when I'm spraying and I'm wearing my latex gloves. But this nozzle also, this here does control, you can control which way it sprays. And you can with the other gun as well. So that's no issue. Now that's an issue with both of these if you're not paying attention. When you're cleaning, there's two little holes in this nozzle or this control nozzle, and you have to make sure those are cleaned out. What I do is I keep, it's like a pocket welder tool to clean out nozzles, and that works great on this. So if it ever gets gummed up, just poke it and it comes clean. So there's that. Now, this uses a completely different wrench. This uses this wrench. I have a dozen of these laying around my shop. Actually, probably more like a half dozen. So this wrench is really common. Like every paint gun I've gotten up until that one will use this wrench. Even my detail gun that comes with this gun uses this wrench. I have another detail gun that uses this wrench. So this wrench is really, from what I can tell, is like the most common wrench you're going to find with your paint guns. But if you get the right size, the nozzle turns off no problem. And there's your nozzle. Okay, and there's your paint gun. You know, this one has fan control. The fan control is actually here instead of on the side like the other one. This one I actually have the regulator on, which, yeah, whatever. And then it's actually got another regulator valve here too. So it's got two different ways to control the intake air. This is the better way, is to have a valve control that's actually got a pressure gauge on it, because you know how much pressure you get in. I normally spray the projects we do, I normally have this thing set for around 25, 26 pounds of PSI. So it's, you know, that's kind of one of those things you got to pay attention to if you're doing this at a professional level. Now, the other thing, the one thing that's not original, the other thing that's not original in this gun is this right here. This is for the Devil Biss, like quick disconnect bottles. So I can instead, it does come with a bottle much like this, but I have a different system that works so much better for when it comes to painting and cleaning and the whole 9 yards. Now, this is the daily gun. I use this thing every day. I've never worn one of these out, but I have replaced them. I'll explain why here in a bit. Let me focus on getting this back together first, because this has to go back into work on Monday. I'm recording this on a Saturday night, folks. You know, because when I think I have a day off, I don't have a day off. Okay, so slide the needle back in there. Needle slides in nice and easy. And the other thing, too, is I said about the set screw. Okay, the set screw is a nice feature, especially if you don't use your gun all the time. But I use my guns all the time. So this, not having a set screw, doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Because I can pretty well screw this in. Pull the trigger, and look how far it goes in. And I can tell if I need to screw it in deeper. So there you go. That's it. I've never had one of these wear out. It's a good gun. Doesn't leak. And I do use my paint guns every day. 5 days a week I spray paint. Well, I can't say use these every day. There is some days I don't paint. That's very rare that I'm not using this gun, though. So it pretty much gets used all the time. The weight of the gun, it's a little heavier than the other one. Not much. Actually, it might not be heavier. It might just because it's got the the flow control on. When it comes to the trigger and how it grips, It grips really nice. It doesn't spread my fingers so far apart. It actually feels like a natural grip. I could actually get a third finger on here if I want to on the trigger, but 2-finger trigger is perfectly fine. I never pinch my fingers with this thing, so this guard does a really good job. And that's really all I can say about that, just the gun in general. Now, I have replaced these guns, this one in particular. And I'll tell you why. Because Harbor Freight lets you get a warranty on these. You can get a 1 year or you can get a 2 year. The 2 year warranty is only, hold on one second. The 2 year warranty is only like $5. And you know what's great about these warranties? Is they're so damn, if I take this in, this has a 2 year warranty. If I take this in, okay, I want to replace this. Okay. See if there's one on the shelf. That's it. There's no questions asked. And then when you get the new gun, they put the 2 year warranty on that too. I think you have to pay for it, if I recall. You have to pay for it. But it's like, oh, okay, here's $5. Another 2 year warranty. Another paint gun for 2 years. I spent $5, got a brand new paint gun. So, and trust me, I recommend doing that. And what I do is I just pay attention to I keep the receipt. I look at the date of the receipt. Okay, the date's coming up to take this back to Harbor Freight and change it in. Now with this gun, some of you are probably wondering how much this gun is. Well, this gun's $50. But there's a trick to it because this is a whole kit. That also comes with a detail gun. And it comes in a case. Now the case sucks. I really don't like the case. The case doesn't really matter though, because I pretty much pull the paint gun out of the case, do what I need to do, and never use the case again. It comes with a wrench, comes with brushes. Oh, it's wrong. It comes with a wrench like this. I don't use it. As you can see, it's clean. It's perfectly clean. It's still brand new. Because I have a half dozen of these wrenches laying around, and it works in this wrench. So, comes with a brush. Comes with actually a couple brushes. Comes with like a toothbrush, pipe cleaner, and then it comes with like a hairbrush. Not a hairbrush, like a paintbrush. Also comes with a filter. And then it actually comes with a needle and another nozzle. It's because it's got 2 different sizes. I believe the one size is a 0.5, and this one I have this nozzle is a 1.5. The one I have loaded in here right now is a 1.8. I need a slightly bigger nozzle for the type of paint I do. And then there's a bottle. Here's the bottle I was talking about. And this, as you can see, even the bottles are different. When it comes to feeding the paint itself, I don't know which bottle is better. Because I've actually never used this bottle. I've used a bottle similar to this on another paint gun, and it fed, perfectly fine. But this bottle, even though it's not as nicely shaped, still fed the paint perfectly fine. So that's not an issue. It also, I don't have it with me, but it also comes with a detail gun. And basically, the detail gun is a mini version of this. I did not bring the detail gun home. I left that at the shop in the bag because I just wanted to compare these 2 guns together and tell you, don't buy this one, buy this one. This is $50. For an additional $30 though, you get more accessories. You also get a small detail gun. And like I said, you can put a damn warranty on the thing. Like I said, I've never worn it out. This is the new one. I've replaced one already. But it was just one of those things. The only reason I replaced it is because I knew Harbor Freight had a no questions asked warranty. So I just took it back and said, here, I'd like to replace this. and they didn't ask questions. They just went to the shelf, got another gun exactly the same, walked out with the new gun. So it's no hassle to get, a new gun, essentially, when you need one. Now, there's also, for those that kind of look at this gun weird, this is missing a piece. I always take this piece off because it conflicts with the quick connect, disconnect nozzle system. And swapping that out, putting this in, does not void the warranty. Taking this off doesn't void the warranty. I've actually never returned this with this on. This comes on the gun already. It's like a hanger or something. So that's not even a problem either. Normally, places are very stingy with their warranties. Now, that being said, warranties, why do you put a warranty on tools? Well, there's two reasons you put a warranty on tools. One, your tools are made so cheap, and this is mostly the case for Harbor Freight. Your tools are made so cheap that replacing the tools all the time, always, essentially people always claiming the warranty, doesn't matter because the tools are that cheap. I would say that's the case for this. For this one here, I really don't think that's the case for this. This is a $50 gun, but the $200 gun I was talking about, this is very comparable to. This is, seriously, for $50, that's a steal for this gun. So, wait, give you that SKU number again. In case you decide, hey, I need to go buy a paint gun. There it is. It's 84572. So if you're going to go to Harbor Freight, buy yourself a paint gun. Buy this gun. This is the Automotive, the Automotive kit, where it's the detail and the full-size paint gun. Anyway, folks, that's really all I got to say about the paint guns today. I use them all the time, so I know what I like. And like I said, this Automotive gun from Harbor Freight is actually really good, and it's a really good price for what you're getting out of it. It's definitely worth the $50. Anyway, folks, thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video, and have yourself a wonderful day.